Good morning, class 8, and welcome to the social science class. So, students, if you remember, then in the last class, we all had a very interactive Zoom session, and I really had a very good time with you people, interacting with you and clearing all your doubts regarding the lessons that we have covered so far. So, this brings us to begin with a new chapter today, and today we are going to start lesson number 2 of your social and political life textbook. All right. So we will be starting the second chapter, which is understanding secularism. And this topic, that is secularism, this concept is not a new one for you, isn't it? Because when we were discussing the first chapter of your social and political life textbook, that is the Indian Constitution, then we already discussed a little bit about secularism and about a secular state as a feature of one of the most prominent features of the Indian Constitution. So today we will be studying about secularism in details, and also we will be discussing about certain other countries which are not secular in nature. So students, we shall begin with the lesson Understanding Secularism. So this is your second chapter from your social and political life textbook, which is also considered to be your political science book. So let us begin first with the three objectives of learning this chapter. So first of all is to develop an understanding about the term secularism. The second objective is to imbibe a sense of respect and tolerance towards the religious communities of India. And thirdly, to develop appreciation of human rights given by the Indian Constitution. So by the time we complete the entire chapter, we will be in a position to fulfill all these basic objectives that I have just read out. So let us begin with the chapter. So look into these two images. What do you see? So in the first picture, we can see people from various religious communities together, and there is a tagline here: India, let the world know we are proud to be Indians. And in the second picture, if you see, we can see the various religious symbols that are practiced in India, and it is written, United we stand. Yes, this is secularism, my dear students, and this is exactly what we are going to study today. But before we come to the meaning of secularism directly, let us have a look at some of the examples from your textbook where discrimination, exclusion, and persecution on the grounds of religion has been highlighted. So if you study history and if you have gone through certain historical events in our country in the past and also of other countries, then we can see that there are several examples where certain religions are considered to be inferior, because of which there is discrimination. There is exclusion. They are not allowed to be a part of the country, and they are not allowed to be a part of the decision-making process altogether. Okay, so some examples here are given about Hitler. So we are familiar with Hitler's Nazism, isn't it? So Hitler used to deal with the Jews in a very, in a very bad manner. All the Jews, they were being troubled, they were being tortured by Hitler, and he was not very happy with the Jews, and he wanted to make sure that the Jews are all dead in the country, because he felt that the Jews are the enemy of the Christians. All right. Then if you take the example of Israel, then in Israel, the Muslims and Christians who stay there, they are treated as minorities. And because of that, because of their different religion, they are treated in an unjust manner. In Saudi Arabia too, non-Muslims are not allowed to practice their own religion in public. That means they are not allowed to build their temples and church. They are not allowed to practice their traditions and festivals in public. So these are some of the examples of certain countries where we see that there is discrimination, there is exclusion, there is suppression, because a particular country does not think that all religions are equal. Okay, so this kind of behavior, this kind of unjust behavior towards certain religion takes place mostly in those countries where a particular religion is given official recognition. That means in a country where a religion is given an official status which is recognized as the national religion by the government, in those kind of countries only we can find that this kind of discriminatory behavior takes place. Okay. So these are some of the examples of certain non-secular countries. Then let us now try to understand the meaning of secularism. So in India, our constitution allows the citizens the freedom to follow their religious beliefs and practices. It doesn't matter whether you're a Hindu, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a Jew, you're a Sikh. No matter whatever religion you belong to, if you are an Indian citizen, if you are in India, then you have the full right, the full freedom to follow your religion and to do all those practices which your religion allows. Okay, so the government of India believes that religious freedom for all has to be a strategy in order to ensure the democratic functioning of the country. And also, in India, secularism means to separate religion from the state or the government. That means India believes that religion should be kept separate from the state. They should not clash with each other. They should have their own sphere of, of exercise. They have their own sphere of rule, and each of them has to work separately. So if we bring together religion and state, if we interact each other, in that case there might be a problem with the other religious communities, just like it happened in Israel or it happened in Saudi Arabia. So secularism in India means separating religion from the state. And India is a secular state because religion is kept separate from the state, which means that there is no official state religion. Just because in India the majority are the Hindu, it does not mean that Hinduism is the official state religion of India. In India, all religions are given equal importance. And also, if you remember the first chapter of your political science, we studied about the fundamental rights. And one of the most important fundamental rights that have been guaranteed to us by the Constitution is the right to the freedom of religion. Isn't it? So since we all have got the freedom of religion, it means that we all are free to practice our religion, to preach our religion, because the state or the government does not give any unequal treatment to any person based on his or her religion. So this is secularism. Secularism means separation of religion from state. That means having no official religion of the state. And all religions are important. All religions are equal. And one of the important fundamental rights guaranteed to us by the Constitution is the right to freedom of religion. So this is the meaning of secularism, dear students. So this brings us to the homework for today. We have not discussed much. We have just discussed the background and the meaning of secularism today. So as your homework, I have given you only 2 questions. Kindly write these down in your copy. And when you submit these homework on 4th of June, that is on Thursday, make sure that you write your name and your class section along with the homework, along with the date actually. And your first question is define secularism, which we have already discussed a few seconds back. And number 2, is India a secular country? If you think it's yes, give your reason. If you think no, still give your reason. Okay, so this is your homework for today. Last date of submission is 4th of June, Thursday. So that's all for today, dear students. Thank you so much and have a good day. And I'm also waiting for your homework before Thursday itself. Thank you.